Hi everybody, my name is Dave and I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about getting the cheapest student health insurance. And just to give you a little bit about my background, I am a former financial advisor and health, life, disability insurance agent. I'm also a former student and a self-employed entrepreneur. So as far as health insurance goes, I have a unique vantage point here. And I just want to give those students out there a couple of tips on how to get the cheapest insurance. First off, the best way to go about it is to get into a group plan. Now, if you're a student, then your university may have a group plan. If you go to a community college or a smaller college, they may not have health insurance, and that's maybe why you're watching this video today. So, the best thing to do is look for avenues to get into a group plan. See if there are organizations that will take you and have group health insurance. But if not, and or you really want to go for your own insurance policy, then the best way to do it is to compare prices. Because actually, if you're a student and let's say you are under 25, you are going to you may even get better rates than what somebody would get in a group plan. Because in a group plan, you're mixing all of the risk of all the people in the group plan, no matter how bad health they are or you know how old they are, because you'll always see in these big corporations they're trying to get people to work out because it's going to lower their health insurance premiums overall. So basically, if you're a student and you're young, then you have a definite leg up on getting cheap health insurance. Because the other good news is that most health insurance companies will give you a discount just for being a student. That's great, maybe 20%. I mean, it could be a huge amount of money. So, because health insurance is really not cheap these days, um, then getting a discount is great. Um, First off, you need to compare. You got to compare apples to apples. Don't compare a policy with, that has a $1,000 deductible to one that has a $5,000 deductible, or one that has a whole load of extra benefits like maternity care or alternative, healing care, things like that. Unless you want those things, it's just not going to give you the cheapest policy. The cheapest policy is going to come from the highest deductible, the highest coinsurance, the higher copays, the less bells and whistles, less benefits. If you and honestly, the cheapest way to get health insurance is to go for the emergencies only plan. Now, if you're in fairly good health, you don't feel like you need a physical every year, you don't feel like you know, you need any of those extra benefits. You don't need the psych benefits. You don't need the prescription drug benefits, and you really just don't visit the doctor all that much. Then I would say just go for the emergency plan. And the best way to do that is to figure out, if there was an emergency, how much money could you spend. Now, let's say you could spend $5,000. The cheapest way to go about doing that is to get a $5,000 deductible and a 0% coinsurance, because the lower your co the lower your coinsurance is, if you lower that down to zero, it's not going to be as big an effect as if you lowered your deductible down to zero. If you lower your deductible down to zero, that means the insurance company's like, whoa, we're going to have to pay every dollar that this guy spends on health insurance, and you could go wild. You can go to as many doctors as you want that were within your plan. So they're just going to hike up your monthly premium for that. Um, if you have a $5,000 deductible, that means you are going to pay $5,000 of your first $5,000 of medical expenses for that year, and then your insurance company is going to cover everything else, assuming that you have a 0% coinsurance. Now, if you raise up your coinsurance to like 20, 30, 50%, your insurance rates will go down, your monthly premiums, but you're going to maybe in an emergency have to foot a bigger bill. Let's say you went with a $2,000 deductible and a 30% coinsurance, and you had a let's say $50,000 surgery. That's going to cost you, with a 30% coinsurance, $15,000 plus your $2,000 deductible, $17,000. So that's a lot more than, let's say, if you had a $5,000 deductible and 0% coinsurance for emergency purposes. Now you could go even deeper to emergency purposes and do a $10,000 deductible with 50% coinsurance and have basically no insurance at all, or insurance to have, in case you had a $500,000 heart transplant or something like that, or you were in the hospital for, in a coma for 9 years or something like that, then yeah, I mean, it might make sense to have a really high deductible, $10,000. But if you can't put out that much, you're gonna have O in the hospital, in which case they may not believe that you can pay, and they may not give you good care, or you may not be able to cash in on your benefit at all. Most likely it's going to be the former rather than the latter, but nevertheless, it's probably best, if you want, a cheap health insurance policy, to go with a $4,000 or $5,000 deductible and just don't use your health insurance. Stay in good health, eat well, exercise, don't smoke, and and don't find the need to go to the doctor a lot. The other benefits of getting a cheap plan is that once you do that, then you can probably get your dental really cheap as well. And everybody, likes to go to the dentist a lot, twice a year, and doesn't like to pay through the roof on that. So there are added benefits of getting those cheaper plans, and you know, not getting a whole ton of benefits. Just for the small fact that if you need dental or vision, you will get a reduced rate for having the actual health insurance instead of just trying to get those on their own. Um, and basically, that is the cheapest way to get student health insurance. Now, the best place to get these deals, I feel, is at ehealthinsurance.com. You go there and you can basically look at 50 to 100 policies per company if you wanted to. You can sort by anything that you want. You find the cheapest health plan, and obviously you say that you're a student and you show proof of that, then you're going to get a discount. And if a company's not giving you a discount for being a student, then move on to the next company. But the fact of the matter is that if you're a student, you should be getting a discount. And also, another good way to save on health insurance expenses as a student is to see what your university provides for free, because a lot of the time, or your community, because a lot of times you can go and you can get these routine, checkups for free, or you can, even get emergency care for free. And see what they cover, and then supplement it with the policy, with another policy that's maybe skin and bones, just for those major emergencies in case you need to have a big operation or something like that. Also, if you want cheaper, then cheapest of the cheapest, go with an HMO instead of a PPO or a POS plan. You can have less flexibility with the doctors that you go to, but it will lower your monthly premiums. That's pretty much it for as far as getting the cheapest student plan. But like I said, first, check out to see if your university covers anything. Check out to see if you can get a group plan first. If not, go to ehealthinsurance.com. Go to my website, learn about more tips to, if you want to get a better handle on how to get the cheapest plan, on what kind of plan would be right for you. There's a lot of good information. It's www.buyingindividualhealthinsurancetips.com. And I hope this information was helpful, and I'll see you on the website or on my other videos. Take care.